Hi, I'm Christine Fishlock and I'm co-director of the Counselling Psychotherapy Centre in Swindon. I'd like to introduce you to one of our valued therapists who works at the centre, Briony Martin. Hi Briony, it's good to talk to you today and hear about the interesting therapy work you offer. Could you tell us what work you do?
Hi, Christine. Yeah, thank you for having me. So I'm a psychotherapist and counsellor, and that means that I work with adults, so anyone over 18, and I do long and short-term psychotherapy. And that can mean a whole different range of things, but basically it depends what you're struggling with in your life, how we work. It's very much shaped to your concerns and what you want to achieve and get out of the therapy. So we might, in fact, we quite often will probably end up looking at childhood and the things that have shaped you as a person and how maybe the things that happened back then are still present now. And we also will have a concern with helping you find coping strategies and ways of functioning better in the world if there are things that are tripping you up in the present.
So why are you doing this work?
I'm doing it because I love it. I think all counsellors were, we all start off like nurses or teachers or whatever. We want to help people, but obviously, we also have to accept that it's not quite as simple as that sometimes. It is really about just coming alongside people where they're at, and sometimes just having someone holding that space for you and really listening can be really helpful and therapeutic. And it's not necessarily about the therapist coming with any great wisdom or magic wand, but just offering that kind of warm space for clients is really satisfying. And of course, like all good therapists, we can only do that because in our profession we're really well supported, and we in turn have had our own therapy and our own counselling to look at our own issues, and we see a professional supervisor who helps kind of make sure that we're working professionally and ethically, and also being a member of a professional body helps with that as well.
So how did you come into this work?
Gosh, well, I came into it a bit later in life, I think, like a lot of counsellors do. It was after I'd had my children and I'd separated from my husband, and I really needed to retrain, and it was something that I'd always wanted to do. So I'd been in kind of helping type of work previously, but having been through a few things in my own life and realised the benefits of therapy, if you like, I thought that it was something that I could have something to offer in.
And as you're talking and you said you love it, there's a passion about what you're talking about. So I guess, that is really coming across, the passion about your work and you do.
Yes, I mean, it's not always easy, but it's an amazing privilege to be able to come alongside people and to share in just a chapter in someone's life. That is an amazing honour to be able to do that alongside people. And I think as I've gone on in my work, and I've just learned so much from the people that I've worked with and all the different experiences that people have had, and that's brought a lot to me as well and really helped me grow, I think, as a person, and with a greater kind of sense of compassion about life and how hard it can be. And I think I really do feel strongly at the moment about the importance of compassion and of developing a kind of compassionate approach to ourselves. I think it's something I've had to work on in myself, and also I've noticed in my work is that we can often be extremely critical and judgmental of ourselves inside, and that can, working a bit on softening that can sometimes be really helpful. And I am passionate about helping people do that.
Thank you. And who are the people that would really benefit from your services?
Oh, that's a good question. And I'll just say with this caveat that obviously I won't be the right person for everyone, and that's okay. But anyone who's feeling a bit stuck, or who's struggling with depression or anxiety, or anyone who's struggling with kind of issues that they feel are coming from their childhood, I would be really happy to work with those kind of issues. And I've also worked or had quite a lot of experience working with addiction in the widest possible sense of that word. So that's an area that I'm interested in working with.
And I guess it might be really helpful for people who are listening and watching this video to know what would happen in early sessions, like for an example, the initial appointment.
Yes, so in the initial appointment, it's really an opportunity for me to really listen to you, and for you to get a sense of me as well, and for both of us to work out together whether we might be a good fit. And if for any reason I felt that I wasn't a good fit for you, I would be able to help you recommend and help signpost you to someone who was better. And equally, if you didn't feel I was quite the right fit for you, that would be okay as well. And the first session would give us a chance to see that. But also, really allowing space, and this would sometimes take more than just the initial session, to really let you share your story and share what your goals and aspirations are, so that I can really understand and we can formulate together what it is you really want.
And the question we're very often asked when people are particularly fairly new to therapy or never had therapy before is, how long will it take?
And I wish I could give a simple answer to that. And I'm sure it's been the same for you, but Christine, but that sometimes it can be very quick and sometimes it can be really long term, and it just depends what you're bringing, and it depends what comes up during the work. But it's always it's important for me always to kind of review as we go along. Nobody's tied into something long term with no sense of end. We can set milestones up along the way, but sometimes it's good just to keep it fairly open-ended so that we can go at your pace, and see what emerges, if you like, in the work, and really be with it and give it time. So yeah, that's not a very clear answer to that question, but it takes as long as you need it to take.
And what's coming across is that you work with the client as they go along.
Absolutely,
brilliant.
And I've known it happen that somebody comes for 3 or 4 sessions, and that's it. They've shared with someone what they needed to share, and the relief is huge, and they're done. I've equally working with people over periods of years where we're really unpicking and exploring really deep trauma, and that takes longer, and both of those are okay.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything else that you would like people to know?
I think I'd like you to know that it's really worth seeing a therapist if you're struggling. I recognise that it is a time and a money commitment, and that sometimes it takes a while to find the right therapist as well. But it's such a positive and compassionate gesture to yourself to treat yourself like you're important enough to have someone listen to you, and to make that a priority in your life. And I'd really encourage anyone who's struggling to allow themselves to have that.
That's brilliant. So thank you, Briony, for sharing this information about the beneficial work you do.
Thank you.
And if you would like to contact Briony or get more information about her, this can be found on our website, and the address for our website will appear at the end of this video.